Hi everyone. We're going to see if this helps that I don't have my camera on. So for this problem, we're doing 3.6 homework, and I'm going to do some problems from 3.6. I'm going to start with number 3. And remember, 3.6 is the section where we want to clear the fractions and clear the decimals. So I'm going to look at these denominators. I have a 4 and I have an 8, and I'm looking for the least common multiple. So the multiples of 4 are 4, 8, 12, 16, right? 16 and so on. And then the multiples of 8 are 8, 16. I can see I already have a common multiplier. I have this 8 and I have this 8. So I'm going to multiply both sides of this equation by 8. And when I do that, it means I have to distribute that 8. Okay, because there's two terms. I have to distribute this way, and I have to distribute this to both terms. So if I say 8 times 3 is 24, and that stays over 4k, plus 8 times 1 is 8, equals 8 times 3 is 24, and that stays over 8, minus 8 times 2 is 16k. Okay, now I can simplify these fractions. They are really easy to reduce because 24 divided by 4 is just 6. So that's 6k plus 8 equals 24 divided by 8 is 3 minus 16k. And this is similar now to what we did in 3.5, where we want the variables on one side, the constants on the other side. And I'm going to do that by adding 16k to both sides. And in the same step, because we are getting a little bit further in the course and we should be comfortable with adding things to both sides of the equation. So let me just do it in a different color so you can see. Let's do black. I'm going to also, in this step, subtract 8 from both sides. Subtract 8 and subtract 8. Okay? So if I do that, I have my equal sign. Negative 8 plus 3 is going to give me negative 5 on this side. And then 6, this is going to cross out, right? And this crosses out. So 16 plus 6k is 22k. And I believe there was an error in the answer key for this problem. So if you were a little bit frustrated because the answer key wasn't matched up with what you got, that might be why. So for this problem, k is negative 5 over 22. And I had a hard time. I was looking at this problem like, how am I not getting the right answer? It was driving me nuts. And then I used the app PhotoMath, which I don't recommend using on a regular basis because it can give you solutions that might confuse you more. But because there's techniques that we haven't learned yet. Although if you just need a quick answer to see if your answer is correct and maybe the answer key is wrong, PhotoMath is a great app to do that. It's a free thing. So, all right, so that answer is negative 5 over 22. Now let's look at number 15. So 15 was also another problem where we want to clear the fractions. And again, I'm not looking for the factors, I'm looking for the least common multiple. So when I look at 2, 6, and 3, and I look at the multiples, the multiples for 2 are 2, 4, 6, 8. The multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, 12, and so on. And the multiples of 6 are 6, 12, 18, right? And all 3 of these lists have the number 6 in them. So we're going to go with 6 as our least common multiple. We're going to multiply both sides of this equation by 6 because of that reason. And when I do that, I need to distribute that 6 to both terms. Okay, just like that. So then 6 times negative 3 is negative 18. The denominator stays the same. Plus 6x equals 6 times negative 5 is negative 30. Over 6 minus 6 times 4 is 24 over 3. Okay, my pen is working a little bit better now. So negative 18 divided by 2 is negative 9 plus 6x, right? Plus 6x. Negative 30 divided by 6 is negative 5. And then this was a 24. Negative 24 over 3 is negative 8. Okay. Now this is where I think, is there any terms that I can combine on this side? No, because I have a constant and an x term, so I can't combine them. They're not like terms. But over here, hey, Emma, please be quiet. I can combine the terms on the right side because they're both constant. So negative 5 minus 8 is negative 13. Okay, and then this side stays the same. Negative 9 plus 6. I'm just going to move my negative 9 because that 6x is the only x term in this whole equation, so I don't want to move it. There's no need to. I could subtract 6 from both sides, but it's just going to give me extra work. So I'm going to add 9x to both sides, and I get 6x equals negative 4. So x, if I divide both sides by 6, I get x equals negative 4 over 6. And these are both even numbers, so I can divide them both by 2, and I get negative 2/3. Okay, I'm going to stop here and do some decimal problems in a minute. Okay, so now we're going to be working on clearing the decimals. And we think about how many places do I need to move my decimal. And that's what I'm going to multiply. That's going to help me determine what factor of 10, not factor, multiple. So it's like 10, 100, right? 1,000. And based on how many places we're going to move the decimal, that's how many zeros are going to be in our multiple of 10. So I need to move these twice. So I'm going to multiply it by 100 on both sides. So this side is going to be multiplied by 100. And this side is going to be multiplied by 100. So when I do that, I get 103 minus 62x equals 71 minus 22x. And now this is an easy problem from 3.5 that we did, right? We're going to put our x's on one side, our constants on the other side. So I'm going to add 22x on both sides. And in the same step, I'm going to also subtract 103. 103 on both sides. So that crosses out. This crosses out. And I get negative 62x. Oops, I forgot my x here. Plus 22x. I get negative 40x. And that's going to equal 71 minus 103, so that's negative 32. I'm going to divide both sides by negative 40. And then I get x equals 0.8. So if you wanted to just reduce this fraction and keep it in decimal form, that would be appropriate too. Let's see, 40 and 32, I could probably divide them both by 8, right? So that's 4, and my two negatives, I'm going to turn that into a positive, so it'll be 4/5 is my answer. So if you got 4/5, you're right. But if you have the answer in the back, it's 0.8. Okay, then let's look at number 29. This is a little different because I don't have decimals, but I have lots of zeros. So similar to how we can multiply by 10, 100, 1,000, we can also divide by 10, 100, 1,000. So I'm going to divide all these numbers by 1,000. So I have to divide this side by 1,000. And I'm going to divide this side by 1,000. Keep in mind when you divide or multiply by both sides, you can't just do the specific terms that you want. You have to do the whole side. So, 30,000 divided by 1,000 is 30. 20,000 divided by 1,000 is 20. X equals 55,000 divided by 1,000 is going to be 55. Okay, and I chose 1,000 because they all had 3 zeros that I wanted to knock off. And 1,000 has 3 zeros in it, so that is a good way to know, to count how many zeros you need. All right, now this looks like a nice problem, and I want my variable, which is the 20x, on one side, and I want my constants on the other side. So I'm going to subtract 30 on both sides. My pen, here we go. I need to find a different recording service that can do a whiteboard and record at the same time. Okay, and then I get 20x equals 55 minus 30 is 25. And then I divide both sides by 20. Divide this side by 20. So 25 divided by 20, if I divide the numerator and denominator by 5, I get 5/4. So that's my answer for 29. All right, so hopefully that helped you with these sections in your homework, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.